But remember that you out there, you're also a part of the panel. You are part of the panel, you are part of the answer. And so make sure you give us a call, wherever you are. 020-737-1619. Our topic is wealth creation. Do you love money? Yes, I do. Let's make it together. All right, let me introduce right now our guests I have in the studio this morning, Mr. Okai, Mr. Joachim Okai, CEO of Okai Gas and Oil Limited. Welcome, Mr. Okai.
Good morning, listener. I'm happy to be here again.
The man is, exuding such affluence and greatness that I'm sure he's going to blow you away. Welcome. I'd also like to welcome Engineer Tunde Ogobosi. I have to help you pronounce your last name. Is that correct?
That's okay.
Okay. Welcome, sir.
Good morning, listeners.
Yes.
I'm happy to be here.
Yes.
And we are here to supply you with every necessary information.
Wow, I like that. I like that.
Yes.
So, wherever you are, remember that we are in this together to solve or to find answers to some, challenging questions about wealth creation. Gentlemen, I'd like to say welcome back. We had, I think about 2 months ago, a session on this topic where we're looking at wealth creation. Today, in fact, we have two of our panelists are not with us, but I believe that the team we have here is capable of doing justice to this topic. I can see their confidence and everything, so I'm very, very sure that we're going to deal with this topic very well. Now, let me start by just asking a question. What do you think, gentlemen, are some of the key hindrances to wealth creation by those of us who are in the diaspora? Do you see some issues as being let's say hindrances to successfully creating wealth? Because if you look at the whole thing, sometimes you got a lot of money before you know another thing comes to drain it away from another corner, and you find yourself always gathering and things keep happening. But there are others somehow they're able to gather money, and in the States, I heard a story of how a certain man in America, not a very wealthy man of course, but he left in his will an amount of $300,000 US, which was split between his only daughter and his first granddaughter. I said, wow, that's impressive. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
That's something that's doable, and should be done, and even better than that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, there are others who really have a challenge with really gathering money and even creating it. Now, so this is just to open up the discussion. Are there some challenges or some hindrances to creating wealth?
Okay. I'll go first.
Go ahead.
I think in looking at this, first I would like to address it from defining wealth creation in itself. I believe before now, being in this sequel before now, and if we can take it from that forward. Wealth creation, one of the definitions given, we have several definitions, but one that appeals to me is that it is the building of assets by means of careful investment into asset-based investment, usually over a long period of time, so as to achieve an income stream that will ensure a continuation of a highly quality lifestyle in years beyond retirement.
That's very comprehensive.
So so if you tie this to the illustration you just gave about a man that left a will for his daughter and the granddaughter, you see that is what wealth creation is really about. Most people think about making money in the sense of just make bulk money and just spend it. And over time they see that they seem to be making progress, but they remain where they are. And that is not what this program is to address. This program is wealth creation in the sense that you can create wealth for yourself, residual income over a long period of time. You can where you get to a point of retirement and all your bills are paid, and you even have surplus to bless generations after you.
Let me just come right here. Now, we're talking about wealth creation, not necessarily about putting money. I mean, saving money, because we did touch on this. What is really wealth?
Yeah.
Earlier on in the earlier programs, and wealth, of course, we think is not limited to only liquid cash.
Yeah. Yes.
It's not only limited to liquid cash, but if we compare ourselves, the vast majority of us, let's say from the developing countries, to those who live here, that somehow there's a way. Somebody maybe regular. I mean, common. Nobody's common really, but not really any much. Let's say an average income earner still is able to generate income or to lay well aside. Now, I would want us to, gentlemen, delve into some of these secrets or strategies, if you like, to know how they manage to do something like this. And so we also can learn from it and know that, okay, we don't only limit ourselves to perhaps just saving liquid cash. I mean, I just want us to see, exploring other possibilities which are available to us to generate wealth.
Thank you very much, and that's why we are here this morning.
Yes.
So, in continuation, the question is about the hindrances to wealth creation for migrant communities.
Yes.
And then one of the hindrances is the lack of adequate information sharing channels.
Oh.
Yes. Someone say information is king. When you're not informed, you are deformed. So we don't migrant communities. If I may bring it down a bit to the African migrant community,
yes,
there's no clear channels of information sharing. Often than none, the information we share are information that are not beneficial to our well-being. I mean, when it comes to wealth creation, but rather things that are not important. So that information channel is one hindrance. The second hindrance is that people have what I call lack of basic education when it comes to wealth creation. For you to do a thing and do it successfully in the world we live right now, you need the right education in pursuing what you want to achieve to create wealth for yourself.
Let me just chip in over here. Here in Holland, I think there's a custom where parents, like let's say a family has a young daughter or young son who maybe graduated or maybe turned 18 or whatever and is now about to live on his or her own. And now that young child, young man or woman now gets a home for the first time, lives on his own. The parents have a custom of either helping to buy some of the, let's say, furniture or stuff for the child. And they even go to the extent of furnishing the house.
Yes.
They have this custom or tradition, which is really beautiful, So somehow they have the expectation, so they, when the time comes, they don't have any excuse. They do it. It's beautiful. That's almost like creating wealth in a way against, I mean, for that child who will one day be on his or her home. You see, so there's a certain mentality there, which really is beautiful. I don't know whether we have the same kind of mentality on a larger scale if you extend it. Having the ability to really look forward to set something aside. Family. Now, let me just maybe make my point clear. You see, we're a way of responding to crisis. First of all, we who are here, before you get a call, somebody sick, you get a call, somebody needs money, you get a call, somebody has been ejected from home, you get a call, somebody needs this and needs that and needs that. So we find ourselves responding to pressures or to requests which are more or less, impromptu, if I may use that word, for lack of a better one. And sometimes some of these things can really destabilize plans. I don't know what to think, but is it that those who, like those, the example I just gave, those people who live here, are they also faced with challenges like that, and yet how do they manage them, and yet they are able to put money aside to deal with some of the most important things in their lives, as opposed to responding to crises and emergencies? Yeah. Do you understand the point I'm trying to make?
Yes, I understand the point.
Okay,
would
please,
you want to respond or should I respond?
Yeah.
Okay, let Mr. Chide come now.
Thank you for the question. One thing is, number one, our mindset is very important and your priority. That is the differences between the migrant and the white, or the, let me call it the...
Those who are developed,
people, you understand? Now, they set their priority right from the day the child is born. All gifts given to the child, they have a special account for it. Money receiving from the government, they keep it in a special account for the child till the child is 18 years.
Yes.
And then they give them the bank pass when they are leaving to be on their own. In our own case, we receive a lot of gifts when we have child, but we refuse to develop ourselves by saving for those child or the children that we are having. Rather, we go to the market, we buy unnecessary things, we chop all sorts of African things, later we throw them to dustbin, that this one, I don't want this any longer, I need this. My question is, I always ask people question, does it mean that those food so-called, spaghetti, all sorts of things, they are not good for our health, or they are good for our health? Then why are we crazy about only African food? We buy unnecessary things, we waste money, we waste time, and we refuse to plan. Let me use myself as an example. I was in that position before. In year 2000, I was in crisis. I sent things back home. I lost 50,000 under a day.
Yes.
Then I spoke to myself. It is time for me now to learn my lesson and to understand how to live proper.
Yes.
Before then, all sorts of things, you see it in my house. A lot of visitors come in. It's like a restaurant. Oh. I waste time, I waste money, I waste everything. Yes, I support giving in the church, but I waste money a lot. Until year 2000, then I realized how to live proper.
Wow. And how do you mean live proper?
Living proper is how to set your priority right. What is needed, what is not needed, you need to know it. How to spend your time, how to spend your money, you need to learn it and you need to understand it. Let me use my company as an example. I started my company with 200 euro. And I know the worth of the company today. So it's only just setting your priority right. You can create wealth for your own children. You can create wealth for people back home. I respond back to all their requests at home, but without any pressure.
Okay.
We do make mistake by giving promises to our people at home. Yes. When we receive the call, yes, tomorrow I will send you 200 euro. And then you start going under pressure, even when the 200 euro is not there. You promise what you cannot deliver. We need to stop promising people. Jesus. Learn to understand that and to tell your people back home, when they call you for requests, as God will, I will try my best. Even when you have the money, keep it, wait some minutes.
Yes. Before you send things to them. And allow God to direct you. Yes. Sometimes the requests, they are not important. But we respond to them under emotion. And it's not needed. It will never build you. Rather, it will destroy you. Jesus. You need to understand what you are doing so that you will not waste your time in Europe and you go back home empty-handed. Yes. And you become a tenant.
Thank you for that powerful input.
Powerful, yes.
Well, you know, we have to be confronted with our, with some of the things we are doing, the kind of setup and mentality and the way you are operating. You know, once you leave Africa or you leave wherever you're coming from and you come abroad, you are like a hero. And you become a star, everybody's looking up to you to perform and to deliver. Yes. And some of these expectations sometimes create unnecessary problems for us. That we got to redefine ourselves the way we must be seen in people's eyes. if we make ourselves for the Christmas, and then of course, then we'll be expecting gifts all the time. And every little thing, you get a phone call. We need this, we need that.
Yes.
But we have, like you said, you have to decide at some point. Your house doesn't become an entertainment center for the whole of, Nigerian community in Amsterdam, for example. And I think that's what we need to do. Really have to be firm, because it takes some amount of discipline. Chief, I think you want to come in here.
Yes, first and foremost, good morning, everyone. Yeah, to a certain level, I agree with my colleague, but to a certain level, I would disagree, because sometimes what we are saying is that in this part of the world, they save for the children, and when they are 18, then you use that saving for the children for them. But there is a certain time if you are living in this part of the world, you may also get some gifts, like you said. But you will get some gifts, like you said. But there are sometimes there will be a real problem that you ought to sort out. Sending money home is not that you send money for necessary things. There are still priorities there. Also, when your parents are sick and at the point of death, would you pay the bills?
You will.
Okay, I agree with you. Maybe we need a better approach to this kind of a thing. Perhaps it would be good to budget. Maybe what we don't do well is budgeting. Budget for contingencies like that. Now, assuming you get an emergency, somebody is sick, somebody just died, and you do not have the resources to take care of that, what are you going to do anyway?
Yes, if you...
Are we going to borrow money for that, or how do we respond to that?
You mean if somebody is...
for example, somebody died, or somebody has to go to surgery and
for death, oh no, I say let the dead, the burial is dead. But when somebody is not yet dead,
yeah,
but is at the point of dying,
yes,
and there's need for you to save that life,
And you don't have the
and
means.
you don't have the means. That is the area that makes some people to dip hand into that child's savings, and sometimes you relieve yourself for that, and promising that you will return the money tomorrow, and at the end, by tomorrow, it's not coming. So that is the one area that our children, but some people plan for their children here also. What I was even thinking is how the child also can stand on his own or her own at that 18 and grow.
Okay,
So,
in order not to deviate too much from our point of discussion,
yeah.
I think the point which we're underscoring here is that there's a need for some kind of structure,
yeah,
in our finances, in the way we order our finances, so that we don't get carried away by demands for money or for certain things which are not really essential, or certain things we can actually deal with in another way.
Then what he said by separating emotion from reality is the best thing. You have to separate the two, and you see that you focus on reality, something that is feasible, something you know that is very important. It's not just whenever somebody calls you and say, I'm sick, I'm this and that, then you send money. Otherwise, when you are sending money, they will be using it as an excuse to take money from you. Yeah, and I have seen some people here whose father we are asking for money. At the end, the father married the second wife and threw his own mother away. Yeah, and threw his own mother away. So he has to go back and rehabilitate the mother again. So the only thing is be focused. When you are focused, then you draw in economics. Anybody who did economics know what we call a scale of preference, at least in the secondary school. So if you draw a scale of preference, you will know what is very important to you, and then yourself is most important before another person.
Okay. All right. Back to the question of what are some of the key hindrances? Are there some key ones you want to mention so that we can cover as much ground as possible this morning?
Yes, my colleagues mentioned some things about information and education. Knowledge is very important also. Men or women who lacks wisdom, they can never create wealth. Wrong association is part of the hindrances. If you associate yourself with the wrong people, you will end up in a wrong way. Lack of focus,
Yes.
poverty mindset. When you have that mind, there is no way you can create wealth. Unproductive life is part of it, and wrong thinking, lack of vision and mission for life.
Yeah.
All these, they are the hindrances to wealth creation.
Okay, I pick on a few things. The wrong association.
Yeah.
I think those you associate with can really have a good influence on how far you go in life. And so what we are saying here is that if we want to be able to create wealth, taking note of our backgrounds, where we're coming from, we really have to make sure we connect with the right people of like minds, to challenge, to stimulate us to move in the positive direction. Is that a good point?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you are listening to this program and you are here as a migrant, and you are here because you want a better life, and you're trying to create something for yourself, for your generations to come, or for those back home, we're talking about how to create that wealth that you came to find. And so if you have a reaction or you want to give an input to this topic, feel free to give us a call as we proceed on the studio line 020-737-1619. We all need to find a better way to do this because of the background we're coming from and the kind of pressures which we have to deal with every day. So association, you spoke about a lack of vision. Of course, we all came here with something in mind, but more often than not, you realize that we get the real something very much from what we came to do. Is that true or not? How can somebody who left home with the intention to have a better life and suddenly gets confronted with situations he or she never knew about or even expected, and now he or she is far away from the goal he or she set from the beginning? How can somebody who came to create wealth deal with something like that?
Yeah, I think it was clearly stated that lack of vision is a thing, and it's not about just wishful thinking, which most people came in. What you're talking about is wishful thinking. I want to come to Europe and I want to do this, just wishful thinking.
Yeah.
We're talking about clear-cut vision. We're talking about written vision.
But listen,
written with clear plans.
Is it possible that you left Africa with a certain expectation in mind?
Yes.
You came down, you landed here on the ground. You found out that things were not really exactly the way you had it.
Yes.
And now you have to redefine yourself, your position, your plans according to the situation you are dealing on the ground. These are real situations. How do we cope? And how do we readjust our focus to get back on track? I mean, you realize sometimes you find yourself delayed 5-10 years from what you actually wanted to achieve.
Exactly.
This is
I want us to deal with this particular issue.
Wait. I
But
love this.
if you are focused, you will still go back to the original
Plan.
No, maybe
It can take you time, but you will go
yeah,
back.
but maybe the original plan is not realistic in the first place. It was just wishful thinking,
Yeah.
and you come and you meet reality on ground. This is why it's important to get the right information.
What is
Before you left?
What is unrealistic?
No, right here.
I'm coming. What is unrealistic about a young man or woman living in Africa saying, "I'm going to Europe because I want a better life"? I think that's a normal, natural expectation.
Yes.
No,
Or not?
that is all right. That
Yes.
expectation is good enough,
Yes.
but not defined.
That-
Yes.
Yes.
So
It's vague,
maybe,
yes.
maybe in the area of definition it was not clear, and you came here and you saw that what you had in mind is not so. What I advise is to get the right information right here on how to create wealth for yourself.
Yeah.
It's not by the wrong association, like he said, but by the right association.
Yeah.
Positive mental attitude, going with the right people to create wealth for yourself. That is how you need to go. And I most of the time, I always like to refer to Robert Kiyosaki's book, which is called Rich Dad Poor Dad. And when he talks about it, he's talking about financial education. Not the normal education, but having basic knowledge about finances.
Yeah.
Most people that want to create wealth most of the time, he said he noticed that none of them have taken time to pick up a book on finance to read. But yet they want to make S amount of millions. So if you're talking about right way creation, what we're trying to talk about here is to differentiate financial security from financial freedom. They are two different things. When you say you are working, you are in this system right now, you are getting by and all that, that is financial security.
Yeah.
That is not freedom. Freedom is when you have resources
Yes.
to the point that even when you don't work,
Yes.
your money can
It's
actually
working for
take
you.
care of you. That
Yes.
is the wealth creation we are looking at.
Yes.
The purpose of this radio program is not to limit people to financial security, but to put their focus on
Wealth
financial
creation.
freedom.
Yes,
and that
exactly.
is key. So back to the question: if you come here and you see that you are trapped, you cannot go forward and neither go backward. Get yourself with like minds. Get yourself with the right information to achieve your goal legally and positively. For example, in the Netherlands, most people don't know the Africans in the diaspora. There are business associations around here in the Netherlands. Amsterdam business this, Amsterdam this and that, club for this and that.
Yeah.
With a token, a yearly subscription you pay to join such associations, you can meet like-minded people that can show you the way to achieve your goal without sweat. You don't need to. You don't need to go through all the pains and the tears the other people went through, but they can just tell you do this, and you get to your end point. And this is why I want to also thank Radio Naija, Radio Voice of Naija, for what they are doing. The way they initiated the newly formed Nigerian Business Council.
Yes.
Such are avenues, such are means where the tire touch the road, where you can come and associate with the right people, and they can put you through on what to do and how to go, so that your journey of 1,000 miles can become a journey of just 10 miles.
Yes.
Thank you for your compliments. That we give glory to God. Yeah, but I agree with you. We need to really sharpen ourselves and push ourselves forward. To reach the goal that we're setting for ourselves. Like again, about the question of somebody who gets the real somewhat from his original plan, it is possible to get back on track. Yeah. And I think what I find quite amazing while we were speaking is how a man like Nelson Mandela, who was the freedom fighter for South Africa, got into prison, stayed there for I think 20 or 23 or 27 years, and came back and still
continued.
Had the power, had a chance to rule, to lead this nation. Yeah. This is powerful, which means that no matter the situation in which we get constrained, once we have a focus on the vision, we can triumph. Sure. So if you're listening to this program, you have some great dreams and great plans.
Yes.
And somehow you found out that you were in a territory whereby you kind of feel disconnected and maybe laid far away from your goals. You can still do it. Only keep your vision alive, and by the grace of God, of course, with the contacts and some of the things we're sharing with you right now, you will be able to get back on track. So don't let your dream die. That's what we are saying. Okay? All right. Maybe we should ask the next question. Do we have or lack any knowledge or skill or advantage to create wealth? And I think some of these points came up. Financial, we don't know much about financial education that Joachim mentioned. He spoke about financial security and financial freedom. It's really nice.
List our mission, vision, and objectives. You have to define your mission. What do you want to achieve?
Yeah.
What the mission and vision is a driver that makes you, whenever you look at it, you see that this is exactly what I want to do. Even in companies, when you are starting a company, that is the primary thing you have to do. You have to have a vision statement, have a mission statement, and then you set your goal. Another thing is try to identify what shall be my goal, what is my goal, because that will be a driver at the end point, but it will lead you. Whenever you are looking at the vision, mission and vision, you are looking at the goal where you are going. So you have to look for other things that are needed, the people, the architectural things that we needed to get to your goal. Yeah.
No, I want to thank you very much. That's from a very academic point of view. I like that though. But let me ask this question. This we didn't discuss earlier on. But what do you think are the characteristics of somebody who can create wealth in the diaspora? And you can share with us from your own experience.
Yes.
What are some of the virtues, the characteristics in your life which has helped you come this far?
Yes.
Can you share that with our listeners?
Yes. Number one, you need to know yourself.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
When you are able to identify yourself, you know the qualities and the talent in you, apart from your educational background.
Yeah.
Leave that one aside, and then after assessing yourself with the environment where you are in, where you find yourself,
Yeah.
you look at everything. How can you affect the environment and be in control of the environment? It's very important. You need to know your ability, as I said. Number one, I'm somebody that you cannot put me down. I don't believe in it, that anybody is superior. I believe we all have the same ability. If the owner of any king can make it,
Yes.
I can make it.
That's a good one. I like that one.
If the Prime Minister of Netherlands can be a Prime Minister, I can be.
Yes. I like that one too.
I always tell people that, yeah, that there's a police, this, that, we're all human beings. If you live right, you will achieve the positive result.
Yes.
So, it was a vision that the Prime Minister he has in mind to be a Prime Minister of Netherlands. There is a reason why he decided to join the political group. And he has a purpose and a vision for himself.
Yes.
It's like what Obama said. When the thinkers, they were thinking a black man will never be a president of US. He said, yes, we can. Every negative things they were saying, he was saying, yes, we can. You can never deliver. He said, yes, I can deliver. You have no knowledge. You have never been a governor. He said, yes, I was a senator, but I can be a president of America. And today, he's a president of America.
So, in other words, you must believe in yourself,
Yeah.
have a positive attitude towards life, and I can do mentality.
Yeah.
Okay. Gentlemen, you want to ask some other qualities
Yeah, I
because
just want to
we're
add
trying
to
to
that.
keep
I
ourselves
think,
and people who are
yeah,
listening to us.
he's on track with that, and the I can do mentality is very, very key. And also the vision thing that was earlier mentioned is
Yes.
key also, because a wise man said, if you don't know where you are going, any road you see looks as if it's the one that's going to lead you there.
Very
So you
true.
have to be clear on
Very
what
true.
you want,
Where you're going.
capture it on paper, and let it be your guide, like Chief Agbo has said, daily. You
Now,
see, and-
I like the paper aspect, which is very good. But what about some illiterates who cannot read and write? Is it that they can never create wealth?
yeah, this
How
also,
do they
this
capture
also, yeah, this is
their
also,
vision and
Many
their purpose
literates
in
can
life?
create
this,
wealth.
like he said, education is not the most important thing. It's good, but it's not the most important thing. If you cannot capture it and you can capture it in your mind,
Yeah.
that is good
Written in your
enough.
mind,
But,
not,
yeah, but also, if you must be a person that must create enduring wealth,
Yeah.
you must understand that the learning process is an unending process, even till you die.
Yes.
So that you are not educated is not a prerequisite or an excuse for you say you know learn. Then you get educated for that vision, for that purpose to come to pass.
Yeah.
And most times, what we do face most of the time that has been our undoing is that we have too many things to pursue at the same time.
Yeah.
And by so doing, we get ourselves so shared, and at the end of the day, we are not achieving anything.
Yeah.
And I like what my co-panelist said before now about the pressure, the difference in culture that has been coming a kind of hindrance to our wealth creation. And Mensa Otabil, a preacher in Ghana, captured it in a clear light.
Yes.
He said, if you put 20 crabs in a basket, you don't need to cover the basket. None
20
of them,
what? 20?
Crabs. You know,
crabs. Yeah, crabs. Okay.
You don't need to cover the basket because none of them will escape. You know why? Whenever one of the crabs is trying to climb out of the basket, the other one pulls it down.
Oh.
So there's no need to put a lid over the basket.
Is it
and
true?
it's a fact of life. It's a fact of life. And in Africa, it's what we face every day. One young, you're going to try it.
Yeah.
One young man will be the one to at least maybe come to Europe or is making a way.
Yes.
The whole family and the whole community will be making demands on him until they pull him down and bring him to their
Exactly.
So that crab technology has limited us in so many ways.
Yes.
And we need to deal with that.
Oh.
On a personal front, on my own, I think one thing that has really worked for me is in positive mentality that you've talked about. I can do.
Yeah.
If anybody can make $1 billion and multiple billions,
yes,
the person does not come with 2 heads.
No.
He was born with one.
Yes.
Then also
myself,
I can do it. Just you mentioned Barack Obama as a good example. We all know it, and that's a positive example to draw from. And also, I must put this before I let my other co-panelists to speak. Most times we make money the motivating factor for what we do, and oftentimes leaders of thought, people that have created wealth, have discovered that money is a poor motivator. Because number one, if you have a vision and money is why you are doing what you are doing, you are going to crush a lot of emotions on your way to the top. At the time, even if the money is slow in coming, you get demotivated in pursuing your dream altogether.
Yes.
So you have to make your dream like the likes of what you mentioned. You mentioned Mandela right now. If it was because of money, Mandela was working, fighting appetite. When they put him in jail, within 24 hours, he would have said, okay, please, I'll forget the money, I want to return to my family. But he had a vision to free a nation. And that became a drive that led him, even after he got out of jail, to achieve what he has achieved. And the whole world can call him the leader of the whole wide world.
Yes.
So, for me, when you come into wealth creation, bettering the life of other people, being an advocate for the voiceless, working for the good of others, Voice of Naija, facilitating this kind of discussions, setting up something that led to NBC.
Yes.
In so doing, when you are pursuing those visions that looks not to be money related, money follows you naturally. They come from different angles, and you never know where it can lead you. And that has been the philosophy I live by. Trying to add value to other people's life, because there is no way you add value to other people's life and value will not be added.
Exactly.
And the Bible captures it this way: say, "Blessed is the hand that giveth,
it's on the one
the hand that taketh."
Yes.
It does not mean only money you give. It means so many other things that will bless your life in the long run.
That's very good preaching there. I like it.
He had already made said everything. Because even in my community, 2006, 2005, 2006, when they were calling me to confer chieftaincy on me, it was not because of the money I gave out, but it was because of my activities, my relationship with the community, things I have done in the community. People I was able to just talk to, advise them, give them certain things, and certain things they were lacking in the community that I provided for the community to sustain them. Those were what the traditional ruler saw and said, okay, he has to confer a chieftaincy on him. As a thanks for what I have been doing. So money is just is not the end. It's not the end. It's just a means to an end. So what is happening is really Joaquin has said everything I need to say, because when you do the right thing, every other thing, word will even follow you. Yeah, people will be able to say, come and manage my property, come and do this, come and do. Again, heavy focus, like we just said. I was 39 when I entered into university. I was here. People were saying, why are you going into the university? Why are you going into the university? I said, no, forget about me. Just do what you are doing. Yeah. I will always meet you in the street. And each day, after my classes, I will meet them in the street. We drink together. We chat together. Till I finish my first degree. They start to wonder, he had finished. Then I entered into my second program. Now I'm an MBA holder. Now they are saying I was here when he started. But they cannot do. So you have to get focused. You have to know what you want. Because I know that in anything I want to achieve in life, I need that degree. I need to expand my knowledge. I have to widen my knowledge so that I will get to where I'm going. And today I have acquired my knowledge. So now I can refocus to channel my knowledge to acquiring that wealth if I need it. Acquire it. I need it. So I will now refocus. Yes. And enter into the business proper.
Thank you. Let me just to save time, I'll give everyone of you maybe a minute each to tell our listeners what you think are some concrete and proven strategies for success in the diaspora. Because we're talking about wealth in general terms, but there is still the financial component of wealth, which is very crucial. Okay? I mean, we're talking about assets and liquid assets, that's also part of it. We want to talk about how we can succeed in creating that here, whilst we are, in this situation, in this part of the world. So, yes, Joachim, maybe you can take off and give us one or two.
Yes, I think one that would be very good is it might come with a way of illustration, if you will permit me.
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
Illustration. It so happened in a particular city that a young lawyer that graduated opened his chambers. He was having problem in getting clients which he can represent to be making money and be living properly. Yes. Was struggling, cannot even pay his bill, pay his secretary itself. So it dawned on him one day to go and meet the top lawyer in the city to tell him his problem and what he's going to see how that top lawyer, there are too many clients and it's very well they could help him. So he go to his office one morning and told the lawyer his problem and everything. The top lawyer looked at him. When he was done, he was quiet all through the discussion. When he was done, the top lawyer said, "Okay, are you done?" He said, "Yes, he's done." He said, "Come with me. Let's go out. Let me see you to your car." And he walked with him out of his office, put his hand around the shoulder of the young lawyer, and they walked to the car park with all the busy people, everybody, just going about the thing. Then he drove off. And the young lawyer was disappointed. Why? I thought I came to this young lawyer, he's supposed to be help to me. Why didn't he care about me or what I told him? He didn't even respond to it. How wicked can people be? Yeah. But it so happened that the next morning, he went back to his office and there were a queue of people lining up asking for business from him.
Yes.
What happened?
The influence of that man rubbed over him.
There was transference of influence.
Influence, yes.
The people saw the top lawyer putting his hand around this young lawyer's shoulder, walking the street. And they know that if this young lawyer is associated with this man, that means he can win cases, he can do things, and this is why he's associating with him, and therefore we can go and get cheaper services from this man, and that changed the course of his life.
Yes. Wow. Awesome. I love this.
What I'm trying to bring forward here is this. The easiest way to become successful, is by mentorship.
Mentorship.
Wonderful. You are in a field, look for somebody that is very successful in that field. Associate yourself with that person. That person can give you just 3 or 4 information that will make your journey so short. Powerful. And you succeed within the shortest possible time. Mike Murdoch said, mentorship is success without the pain.
Yes, it's true.
So the one thing I want to bring here that I'm fast track to say is get a mentor.
Get a mentor. Hey, thank you.
You know what? I'm sorry, I'm going to just have to close it there. Unless Engineer Tunde wants to just give 1 point 1 minute.
Yeah.
Just very quickly, and then.
He has said everything because I try to break it down that your own personal support.
Yeah.
Anything you want to do in life, if you don't have a mentor, there is no way you can make it. Who is your mentor?
Yes.
You need a mentor. We all need a mentor.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you.
All right.
And sometimes,
Yes.
1 minute.
sometimes we look at our product, but forget about your product and seek a potential customer and ask them their needs. Come from the needs, not from the product. If you want to sell your product, ask the potential customer what they need.
Yes.
And when they tell you what they need, then you can tell them that you can provide that product that can solve that their needs. And at that, you can get enough customers than going to bringing your product and have a cup to sell. Nobody will look at it because they have others to go for. Yeah.
Thank you
very much.
On this note, I would like to draw the curtain draw the curtain on this morning's program. It's a pity time runs out. Before any time we come together like this, before we realize that time is finished.
Yeah.
You see?
Yeah,
well, thank you so very much, and I want to wish you a good day, Mr. Joachim Okai, and CEO of Okai and Okai Gas and Oil Limited, Engineer Tunde of Yestac Honey and Milk International, and then
Chief Kirian
Agodike of Sustainability. What was it?
Procurement and sustainability.
Procurement and sustainability. Thank you for being our guest this morning. God bless you. All right.